In this video, we talk about another of your four parts, the subconscious. Some other also call the subconscious unconscious, but I would like to explicitly point out that with the Metis model, or here in general, subconsciousness is the only correct expression, because the unconscious is another part that will also be explained in the future. So the subconscious is the part of the Metis seal that is leftmost as a green circle. We also speak of the emotional body, and the color green generally represents emotions and feelings. How is this subconscious structured? It basically consists of two parts, a physical part and a mental part. The physical part, which is embodied directly through evolution over thousands of years, consists of cells, and the mental part consists of software in its own way, better thoughts or mental functions. With the full-grown body, your subconscious is also fully developed, or at least it should be. The meta mode of operation of the subconscious is parallel, which means that your subconscious gets a lot of impressions, a lot of information at the same time, and has to create an up-to-date picture of the here and now from this information. But more on that later. The brain waves that are active in this area are dominant in your brain are the so-called theta waves. These are relatively slow waves. Your subconscious has different possibilities. On the one hand, it moves in the past by storing memory. All the feelings and experiences you had become in the past and are part of the subconscious and, in quotation marks, are stored there. No one knows exactly how memories are stored. Our DNA and our cells have not enough capacity to store everything we experience in the course of a lifetime, at least in theory. However, everything is saved. But the function involved is located in the subconscious. And also the conditioning, so the stimulus reactions. If you hear a song that you heard with your girl or boyfriend in the summer and you hear it again, then you are automatically reminded of it. Or if you smell something rotting, then you won't get hungry. Then you will want to move away from that subject. But the subconscious is not only present in the past, but also in the here and now. So in the present, it will monitor the state of body, and it will also get all the sensory input at the same time. It will not only monitor the state of body, but also control it. And now we reach the tasks of the subconscious. The subconscious is like a link between the body and the mind. It perhaps is a bit like an interface between the thoughts and the body. Yes, this is a psychosomatic interface. It provides the foundation, A, for your memory, also in form of software, so how you react, how you think. These are all learned programs that you have stored in a kind of memory. And B, it also provides the foundation for evolution, better for the hardware. It means any reflexes that your body has already firmly integrated in its body through millennia, through the constant recurring. It's sort of partly a safety mechanism to keep the body alive. There are various strategies for this, including the repugnancy or the comfort zone, which I also locate in the subconscious. This means that the subconscious cannot look into the future and cannot create anything. It only moves in the here and now and in the past, and can only make decisions based on that. That means that it has to make do with the energy that it has now, today, tomorrow. And it cannot assume that it may have more energy tomorrow, so it naturally wants to react and act as efficiently as possible. And it must also constantly check whether a reaction is necessary for survival. In other words, if a saber-toothed tiger was near, you would have to run away quickly. Or if you heard a loud noise, then more stress hormones would be released so that you could perceive more sensory impression to then be able to better assess the situation. or the muscles and the entire circulation systems are activated in order to be able to run away. This so-called fight or flight reaction is located in the subconscious and is a very basic reaction of yourself. We said link between body and mind. What does that mean? Between the body and the mind there is a so-called, I call it, a filter built in, which selects the most important information that flows into the body and forwards it to the consciousness that we will come to in another video. And this filter is best overcome with the brain oscillates in an alpha wave range, better the moment the alpha wave range is dominant. But there is also another video about this filter, because this filter is extremely important. The filter is established to be able to release resources. Well, we will get to that. Your consciousness works completely different, and with all this information from the body that is available, it would not only be the five senses, seeing, hearing, taste, smell and feeling, but also blood pressure and blood temperature, hormonal balance, the neurotransmitter balance. All of that has to be controlled, and the subconsciousness does everything in parallel. You would go insane if these informations were in your head all the time and there were always a lot of voices telling you what, how, where is currently the state and how high all levels are and what sensory impressions arrives. It's all filtered so that only the most important things come up and you become aware of those things. So the subconscious is always active, even when you are asleep. There's always a part of the subconscious active and working for you. Maybe you already woke up sometime from deep sleep with the feeling that you heard a loud voice. Maybe a burglar. How can you now reach this subconscious with your conscious mind? Can you communicate with it by speaking? It goes in two different ways. Internally, the subconscious naturally talks to the body with electrical and chemical processes. It's easy to imagine that in order to make this chemical communication possible, you need to feed yourself accordingly. The better you eat, the better your body can function, and the better chemical signals can be transmitted. Then your hormonal balance will have all the necessary raw materials to function properly. There are also a few other things that we discussed about the body. Of course, there has to be a certain level of activity and the metabolism has to work, but nutrition is actually relatively important. In the brain, however, the signals are transmitted more electrically, even if there is a chemical component. And in order to be able to transmit it electrically, the salt balance and thus the fluid balance of the body must be right. In general, we learned in the video about the brain that homeostasis in the brain must be kept very constant. There's a dedicated area in the brain that does that, and if that's destroyed, then yes, everything is lost. Okay, but the communication to the outside, meaning to your consciousness, functions through images and emotions. So when you get a feeling, that feeling is clear in your subconscious. When you get a picture up, you suddenly see something in front of your inner eye. It's coming from your subconscious. Then your subconscious is willing to tell you something. Yes, those were the most important things about the subconscious. I hope you liked this video. There are also the other two parts. You are, of course, welcome to watch these videos as well. And these four parts define the basis of your being, and that is why they are so important as a foundation for all further things that you can learn about yourself. So I'm happy about a like again, and if you liked it, talk to others about it. Show others this information, then you make it accessible to others, and I would be very happy. And if you have any comments, please write them in the comment box. So have fun.